Alright guys, this is Jacob from Wager Me This. I got a craps video to show you guys today. So these blanket bets, other YouTube channels are starting to show them and stuff, and I've kind of always showed them. This has kind of been one of my main strategies, but so I'm going to show you a little different version of it. It's a larger blanket bet, but with a regression on the box numbers, which allows you to, you're catching up money. So instead of if you hit one or two of them, you're making the 7 more valuable when it does come, because you're taking away money you have on the board, which is what the 7 is blanketing with the don't. So if you can take a little bit of that away, you're actually making profit on the back end. Let me show you what I mean. All right, so let's start with the $50 don't. All right, well, so what we're going to do on that is we're going to set as a point, and then we're going to decide where we want to put some box number bets, some place bets that this covers. But we're going to be on a $5 table because we want to be able to regress all the way down to minimum. And at this point, you know, we'll go all the way down to nothing on the number if it allows us, and we're just going to take off 1 unit each time on the regression. So let me show you what I mean. There's a 5. First point's going to be 5, 4, 1. All right, so we got $50 to work with. So you could go 48. You could go on the 6 and 8 for 24 a piece. That'd be fine, but I'm going to go 18 and 15. And I know this is going to go over $1, but I can live with that. One hit, and I'm in the good. If I end up losing $1, I end up losing $1. It's worth the risk here, I feel like. All right, 12, 6, 6, 12. All right, so we lost $1. Not ideal. We didn't hit none of the numbers, that's not going to happen every time. That's not going to be even a consistent thing. You're going to hit them box numbers. All right. So we lost $1 there. Not a huge problem. 6. Okay. So now we're on the 6. Again, this time it's going to work a little different. We're going to put 45 out there, end up with 48. So we're going to be $2 ahead of the 7 here. So we're looking for some box numbers. There's a 5. All right, this is what we want. Okay, so that 5 is going to pay $21. We're going to take a $5 chip off the 5 and just rack this up. All right, so now we're $5 more ahead on that 7. That's the idea of the strategy. There's the 9. 6, 3, 9, same thing. $21 winner. We're going to take a $5 chip off the 9 and rack it up. 6. And this also helps in this situation. So what ended up happening, yeah, we knocked off the 6, but remember we made 21 there and 21 there, as well as took $5 off. So in the big scheme of things, we lost $10, $8, something like that. We'll lose that. Take these down, because no reason for them to be up. Take them down every time, start over. Coming out. There's the 9. 5, 4, 9. And if you feel like you need to hedge that out, you can do all that. I don't do that. That's not my MO. I'm going to go on and get the 4 this time. Same situation. We're going to be $1 over when you're playing the 6 and 8. If you're playing with a $50 hedge, it makes more sense. There's the 8. All right, so we just made that money back. We're not worried about it. $21 8. I'm going to drop down to just 2 units here. Collect everything up. Ace, ace. That's not going to do anything right now. There's the 8 again. Okay, so that's a $14 8 this time. Take it down to 1 unit. Collect everything up. So now we've caught this 7 quite a bit. So if we roll a 7 here, we actually make a reasonably good profit off of it. All right, so we knocked the 8 all the way out. Pretty good. You get to 0 on them box numbers, you're doing fantastic. There's ace ace. Wouldn't mind hitting a 4. 6. All right, 6 works too. That's a $21 6. We're gonna regress it down. And now I know here you could eventually get all the way to no money out there, but if you think about that, that means you rolled a whole bunch of times, so the 7's probably coming. So that's a good thing. If you get all the way that far, all right, so there's the 7. All right, so now look how valuable the 7 was. We did have $51 out there, but now we only have 27. So it made it more valuable as we made money, which is the idea of the strategy. And so I'll collect this up. Usually what happens if I make it like that and I hit the 7 and win on the back end, I'll add one of the $25 chips to my dough. That way I can put a little more in regression bets the next time. All right, there's the 9 again. 6, 3, 9. All right, so here we go. So this time we got an extra $25 to work with. So if you think about that, that's $12 on both the 6 and 8 you can use. All right, so we're going to go up to $28 on them. I mean $24. 28. I meant $24 on them. So that makes that's $48. So you can go 30 if you wanted and get 2 numbers. But I'm just going to take 20 bucks and I'm going to put it on the 10. I'm going to buy it. All right, so what that ends up being is 68 bucks against 75. Pretty good. I mean, you could add another 6 bucks on the 6 or 8 somewhere, but I'll live with this. There's the 8. There's the 5, 3, 8. So it's going to pay $28. We're going to drop it down to 18. Collect our money up. All right, here we go. So we're way ahead on the 7 now already. There's the 8 again, 5, 3 this time. So it's going to be a $21 8 this time. We're going to drop it down. Catching more of that 7 on the end. There's the 7. All right, so we made an extra $12 basically in the way it's going to work out. By getting 2 of them $6 bets off the table, we made it back at the end here. All right, so that's how it'd pay. We're going to go on and add another $25 chip to it. We're up to 100. That gives us a lot of options now. All right, here we go, coming out. We just got to get through this roll. There's the 4. All right, so we got $100 here. I mean, that's a ton of options. If we go 3 units across, that ends up being like $81. That's not a bad idea. That gives you a lot of options. But what I like to do, once I get to this point, I like to get a $30 6 and 8, just because 25% of the time it's going to land on that. So then you got $40 more to work with, right? Because there's 60 out there. And so usually I put this on the 5 and 9 at this point. This is my favorite situation to be in, is once I got that $100 out there. Now I know it's 100 against 100, but on this regression, I'm going to start catching this, and these are going to be a lot bigger wins. And so let's see what happens. There's the 5, 3, 2, 5. So this right there is going to pay $28. Rack it up. Take a $5 chip off there. Keep going. Okay. We didn't get to do it very long. That was a 7. That was 437, not 9. But we ended up profiting off this now because we took a $5 chip off there. I know it's only $5, but it's $5. And so instead of just breaking even, we ended up making $5 on that bet. Same thing here. I'm going to go on and add a $25 chip to it because we're winning. And this is the idea of the strategy, is that you're trying to get as much blanketed money out there so you can regress it down. There's the 9, 5, 4, 9. All right, same thing. Of course, I'm going to get the 6 and 8 here for sure for 30. We got $125 to work with. I'm going to pick up the 5 for a quarter. So right there, that's only $85. All right, so we can go 15 and 15 here, and we're looking pretty healthy. And that's a win on the 7, pretty good win on the 7, pretty good regression bets. There's the 8. That's gonna be a $35 8, guys. 35 bucks already. All right, regressing this down. So what we're gonna end up having to do, pull it all down and go back with $24. No big deal. Making money on the back end here. 7, okay? No big deal. It looks like we lost a ton of money, but it's all hedged out right here. So we didn't really lose, well, we didn't lose anything. We ended up profiting off that 7. Okay, so 2, we need 3 more. All right, so now we're up to 150 on our hedge bet, or blanket bet. All right, here we go. 12. And you could stop here. In fact, I'm gonna stop here. Let's just stop and get this video out. Okay, so I know I'm up to 500 because that's full. So I'm up to $529. So we're up $229 from initial bankroll. I mean, when you're regressing them, you're gaining money at the end, and it's going to kind of cover when you do get knocked off. And so, I mean, it's a pretty solid strategy. Has some progression in it. It can get bigger as you go. It's alive for the long roll. There's a lot of good things about that strategy. It blankets your place bets, which is people that just go in there and put 64 across, set down. You'll watch them a lot of times. They'll be done in just a matter of minutes if they have a couple bad rolls. In this situation, you're protected from the 0.7. You're protected from a lot of things. The only thing you're really worried about is the come out roll. After that, you always got the advantage. So, I mean, like any don't strategy, but yeah, I mean, this is a good way for a newer person to craps to have a big day, to have a day that it really goes good, and not have a ton of ups and downs, not a ton of big swings, because there's going to be enough times where it goes 3 or 4 rolls and you hit a couple regressions and it rolls 7. You're going to get knocked off a few times. All that's going to happen, but it's going to control itself enough because of the way the amount of money you're putting on the table. It's not the amount of money at risk, but the amount of money that's on the table. So as long as you stay disciplined with it, it should be a profitable strategy more times than not. And so, yeah, this is Jacob from Wager Me This. I hope you guys like this video.